Well, I think that the first and most important thing is that we need to create the culture that learning is the most important thing, and that the learning has to be both intellectually challenging and relevant and at the right point of need for the students. I think that as a school, if we're going to do that, then we need to have a common understanding that we all have a shared responsibility for the learning of all the students, so that we don't talk about it's your responsibility or my responsibility, but rather it's our responsibility. And if we're going to do that, then we need structures within the school that facilitate that sort of a culture. So for us here, that has been committing time, either by buying time or by flexible timetabling or by creative use of support staff, for teachers to get together and work together in learning teams and to plan jointly, to collaborate on assessment, and in particular to jointly analyse assessment data and measure it against the criteria. And I know for us here that some of the best professional development we have is when we're engaged in those sorts of conversations, and one teacher mentoring another teacher, and the teachers feel supported, and the students have access to a whole range of strategies that maybe one teacher on their own would not be able to come up with. We also try to commit time at staff meetings for a case management type approach. So for students who maybe aren't moving along as well as we'd like to, we discuss it as a staff and try to all contribute to the identification of strategies that would help move those students further along the continuum. Another thing I think that has to happen is that both the students need to be aware of what they're learning, why they're learning it, and how they're going to learn it, and how their work is going to be judged. And so before the learning starts, the teachers and the students need to work together to identify the criteria upon which the work is going to be judged. And then that criteria has to be referred to frequently, both in the daily lessons and also in the planning that the teachers actually do. Likewise, I think three-way conversations between teacher, student and parent about the learning is an important aspect of feedback also. Parents need to be just as engaged in the child's learning as the child is, and we as teachers also need to provide them with opportunities to see strategies in action that can help their children at home. Absolutely vital, I think, to the purpose of student engagement is also the provision of professional development for teachers. And that needs to be based on student need and also based on the school's plan. I think being able to use in-house mentors is very important, because they're on hand regularly for the staff, and the staff also have that sense of trust in them and feel able to go to them to get that happening. We use both in-house and outside providers, and we're also lucky enough through PSP to employ a literacy coach who works with our teachers in the classroom in order to improve the quality of teaching that we can offer and therefore improve student outcomes. We also like to have focus groups where we ask the students questions about their learning, and it's amazing, but they always have the answers. And when we have been struggling ourselves with where do we need to go now, particularly in terms of our feedback sessions, we've gone to the students and asked them, and every answer that we would have liked to have been answered has been provided by them. And they're quite both insightful, brutally honest at times, and also creative in their thinking. And so we've been able to employ a lot of their ideas in what we do here within the school.